people don't realize that the Americans are the smartest, technically the most innovative, the most aggressive people that make products in the world.
Welcome back to the High Voltage Business Builders Podcast. A special episode today. If you're wondering about tariffs, if you paid attention to anything that happened with the UK and the United States today, if you're wondering how the Chinese might be playing fair or not playing fair, as they're being called to attention, actually today as a recording of this in Switzerland, to speak with the Treasury Secretary about what they need to do to change their policies and processes. By the time you hear this, things may be different. Hopefully you're hearing it with a good word and an opportunity, because I brought a guest on today who is at the ground up in terms of product manufacturing in the United States and is also a product brand builder. And we're going to talk about that today, as well as maybe some of the sneaky insights he's seeing down at the ground level in the weeds that China's trying to pull off along with other sellers. So welcome to the call. Appreciate having you on today.
Oh, it's great to be out with you, Neil. I appreciate your time.
Awesome. So just, in 30 seconds or so, give me insights into who you are for the people that are listening.
Okay, so I'm a business owner. I own an injection molding company. We make plastic widgets, and we have a product line that is water filtration that is 21st century, not the old stuff that you guys are used to drinking. We're giving you stuff that will actually enhance your life.
And you are based in the United States, out in Arizona, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir.
How long have you been in the manufacturing business? How long have you been in that?
This particular company that I own right now, 25 years, 24 years. I've been doing it all my life. I started out as a tool and die maker worked for a company called Sunbeam Appliances.
Cool.
In Chicago. So I learned from the ground up, went to engineering school, became an engineer, designed products. Here's a funny tidbit. You remember I did a lot of TV commercial props in a day. You remember the commercial, Where's the Beef?
Yes.
Those are my hamburger here, Sam.
That is awesome. That's some good history. I appreciate you sharing that. And clearly for those who are paying attention on maybe YouTube or et cetera, those who might be listening aren't going to see this. So you might want to jump to YouTube and subscribe and check this out. He's actually sitting in his warehouse right now, hanging out on the ground floor. So from the ground floor, man, tell us what's going on with China and stuff you're seeing right now with packaging and manufacturing that you guys are dealing with. Because is it something, new to the game, something you've just seen, or something?
No, this is all new. This is new stuff. They're not stupid, folks. But two things are happening. They're slowing down shipments. Okay. So if a ship, they can't even fill container ships right now.
Yeah.
That's so much everything's stopped. We don't realize how much everything, the brakes have been put on everything. So they're slowing down containers. So that means instead of a container leaving every 10 minutes, it's leaving every 10 hours. Okay. Secondly, they're slowing down their manufacturing because they're trying to keep their people busy. Okay. But here's what's really kind of weird. They are actually moving their product into Taiwan, South Korea, repackaging it, and sending it to America under the tariffs of Korea and places
I think that's gonna guys, if you're listening to that and you think that might be a good idea, please don't do that. There's a lot of laws being broke right now that I think some sellers, I've heard of a couple of rumors. We haven't had this from our manufacturing, but China's asking them to do that and saying, oh, we got this, shipping plan, do this with us. Don't do that, folks. That was a very bad thing to do.
We need to, okay, so I've manufactured in China. I manufactured for other companies I worked for. Mexico, I ran factories in Mexico. I was very heavily involved in the entire Pacific Rim manufacturing, to the point where I even spoke the language. You're there that often. And their abilities to abuse people is amazing. That's how bad it is.
Yeah.
So on America, one of the things that people don't realize is the Americans are the smartest, technically the most innovative, the most aggressive people that make products in the world. Okay. My family's all from Europe, and we have some things going on over there, and their abilities to keep up with the Americans they're like walking and we're running. We're not slowing down. And to have a president that we have right now, that is he's a manufacturer. He knows what we need, and we're pushing things at 1,000,000 miles an hour right now, guys. So yeah, it's going to hurt a little bit. I had to go back to all my suppliers and say, if you want me to buy your product, you're going to eat the tariffs. And that's what we did. That's exactly what we did. So we bring in a lot of product from all over the world. I bring in a lot of resins from Germany. Now Germany is on a 0 tariff with us.
Mm-hmm.
That's all driven down. So that worked fine. But they were going to eat the tariffs because they want my business.
Yes. Yeah. We're seeing similar things, or at least splitting the tariff cost to keep the product moving. So eating half of it or something like that.
Did you see how
For the American.
we are in a driver's seat like never before? We
Yeah.
just didn't know it. I mean,
Yeah. That's right.
nobody consumes like Americans. That's not a great thing to say, but nobody consumes like
True.
Americans.
Well, they
Right?
spent 20, 30 years being programmed into that, thanks to the internet and other things. We've
Right.
been
But
programmed to do that.
I've been in the appliance business. I've been in every facet of manufacturing known to man. My wife says, you touched everything that's out there. I said, yeah, I've been involved in it from the R&D all the way through the, making a million widgets a year. And I've been in countries where they don't even like you, but they'll take your money.
Well, of course they will.
Right.
And I think China is some form of that. Not all Chinese can, I'm not going to lump them in a gross number, but there's a lot, especially their government, that isn't particularly fond of us. It's kind of a love-hate relationship. I think that at least the Chinese that I know and the ones that have gone there and come back are not really anti-American per se. They just have certain policies and stuff that are pro-China. And with that, they have made, America a secondary, and, we've been made a secondary too. So we're supposed to act like second-class citizens, but we're actually the first-class buyers of the entire world.
But here, think about this. We don't hate Chinese people.
No,
I have friends that are Chinese. I used to live in Hong Kong. You know what they used to say to me back in the early 90s?
what's that?
You're the only country in the world where you don't have to work and you get paid.
Yeah, there's a lot of that opportunity.
No,
We
no,
have a lot of
because of
opportunity.
unemployment, right?
Yeah, that's
You don't work, you don't get paid. All right.
right.
So they abuse. It's pretty rough. Okay.
It is.
But I think we as Americans, we can set the standard. We can drive the narrative. And I think my guys were all like, well, what's going to happen when the tariffs go away? We can't, we can't afford a product. No, it says, we'll make it work. That's what we do. We'll figure out how to make it faster. We'll figure out, and you want to know what's the crazy thing? The people on my floor now are figuring out how to make it faster to keep the price down so we can sell more product.
Efficiencies are kicking in. That's amazing.
I don't have to. They're doing it for me. And
Yeah.
in turn, it took me a year ago, the time to make something, I'm doing it in half the time now.
That's amazing.
And I don't have to be the one out there pushing, the envelope. They are, because they want to do a better job. And what we found is by doing that, we are able to, Neil, produce a better product because everybody's more on their toes. Nobody's kind of like snapping. As you well know, you get over the corner, you do the same thing all day long, you fall asleep. Nobody's doing it now because you're moving faster. It is a better environment. So as Americans, guys, just hang in there with us, and we will show you how this works.
Yeah. Tell me about the products you guys are working on specifically right now, the water filtration and stuff.
Okay. So, we are doing a water product, guys, that it's 21st century. I'll tell you at the beginning of what it does and how it goes through it. So we have a product that was underneath your sink. No holes drilled, nothing. You're tapping in the cold side of your water faucet. Takes you 20 minutes to put it in, 20 minutes to take it out. You don't leave no holes. So if you're in an apartment, you're in a home that you're leasing, you're not going to hurt anybody or upset anybody's feelings. Takes a wrench and a drill with a little screwdriver tip, just about 2 little screws. This product will take the chlorine and ammonia out of the water. We use catalytic carbon, nothing like it, best in the world. Then we use a product called CT resin. We add oxygen to the water, big time oxygen. I mean, this stuff is a game changer all the way down the line. Energy wise, everything else it gives you. Then we take the magnesium, calcium that's in the water, boost it. So it's natural magnesium, calcium, not synthetic that you take in a pill.
Mm-hmm.
Glass of water, 8-ounce glasses, and you're good to go for the day. Okay. No cramps. Ladies, men's faces start filtering out where you don't have lines in them anymore because now you're hydrated. You're not dehydrated. If you're drinking RO or bottled water, you're dehydrating yourself with every glass. It's dead water.
Yeah.
So we do that. Then we take out arsenic, chromium-6, boron, heavy metals, all the poisons that are in the water. We pull them out. No big deal. We take out fluoride at 100%. And here's how we do it. We've been doing it for years because we knew fluoride was bad 150 years ago. The old timers back in the 1800s knew that, there's always fluoride in water. You can't take it out.
Yeah, it's a natural element
It's a natural element.
pure form, not it's chemically induced, chemically created.
How do you get it out?
Yeah.
They figured it out. Bone char. We get from Scotland, we buy ground up animal bones. We put them in our system. The fluoride sticks to the animal bones, and 100%.
No kidding.
It's wild.
So
So put that in, and then we do something kind of crazy in the back end. So you remember that place called East Palestine, Ohio? Vinyl chloride dump? Meds could only take out, the best they could take out was 5 parts per million. They use air to blow it out of the ground. I have a carbon that was designed exactly for that problem. We take out vinyl chloride down to 0. What does that mean to the average person? It happened there, not here. Every time, and what they've gone to is white pipes to your home. White pipes to your home, it's plastic.
Yeah, right.
It has PVC in it, right?
Yep.
Vinyl chloride. It's going into your drinking water.
Right.
If you use a RO system, you make the water very acidy. Acid eats holes in copper pipes. That's why they did it. We don't do that.
Yeah.
Okay. So then we take that out. And then what we do is we take your water to a 9, well, we make it alkaline. It can be as high as 9.5 pH. What does that do for the human body? It kills the acid in your body that creates cancer. Right?
Yeah.
Our water stays that way. Once it goes through our system, it doesn't go back like these other systems where in 7 days it's dead water again. Ours stays like pH forever. Dogs live longer on it.
Dogs, animals, people.
You got it. Okay. So horses love it. So here's the thing. Now I'm getting to the exciting part. That's just water. We have a product, carbon, that removes all pharmaceutical VOCs. Okay. Now, what does that mean? Every vaccine we take out.
Yeah.
Every PFA we take out. Every pill that you drop down the toilet, we take out. Every nanoplastic we take out. Now, what is nanoplastic doing to the human race?
Boy,
it's not
nasty
bad
stuff. Microplastics have been a big awareness in the last few months about what microplastics are doing to people.
They make them heavy. It seals your fat cells. It ain't the fast food stores, the restaurants that mess you up. It's the water you're drinking. Okay. So that's kind of where we're at. Okay. So those are things. And let me share with you how we got to that place with the pharmaceuticals. We had some very influential, high level elites of Europe come to us and ask my chemist over in Germany, Deepak, how to get the vaccine out of their fish in their fish farms.
Oh yeah. Especially in the regular fish farms, not the natural grown fish. There's always a lot of other things, mercury.
Well, it comes from the water, right? So the vaccines are in the rivers. It's in the drinking water because all of Europe's vaccinated. When you go to the bathroom, you put that back in the ground. So it's going back into the ecosystem, right? That's why when women put estrogen pills down the toilet or they go to the bathroom themselves, everybody else gets to drink it. That's why men are kind of getting a little weird these days, right? So there's your problem. So we developed, it took us a couple of years and millions of dollars. We developed a carbon. Now, remember this, you don't remember anything else they tell you today. ROs don't clean water. Time and density cleans water. Density means the density of carbon, right? Average carbon is 600 to 900 grains of density. Regular carbon. We use a catalytic carbon, which is 10 times more expensive, but there's other things infused into it. Then what we did was we created a carbon that's not 900 grains of density, but at 2,800 grains of density with magnesium infused into it. And that's how we take all the poisons out of the water.
Now, is this, you mentioned an under the cabinet.
Under the sink. Yeah, it's under the sink, right?
Is there a mobile version too? Like if you want to go.
So let's finish with the house first. Then we have a house system.
Yeah, a full house system.
How would you like your house to be healthy? I mean, your hot water tank have no scale in it. And if it has scale in it, our system will remove the scale in 6 months. How would you like your washing machine to not have any mold or fungus in it? If it has mold or fungus, we clean it out. The oxygen bubbles. That's how we clean it out, okay? Your dishwasher. How'd you like to have no water spots on your dishes? We do that
too. A ruined dishwasher. I've gone through 2 in 10 years. I'm on a third one now because they literally get ruined by the water.
I'm putting one in tomorrow.
Yeah.
How would you like to be bathing in water that makes your hair, your skin soft? And every time you take a shower, you take in 1 pint of water, poison water. All the toxins in that water go into your skin because you're a sponge, right? How'd you like to be doing it in oxygenated water with all the magnesium and all the calcium being sucked into your body? That's what our product does.
Sounds tingly.
And wait a minute, it's even better than that. You don't touch our system for If you buy a small one,
Yeah.
5 years, a large one, 10 years. And then we give you a little product that you dose into it, and it's like brand new again.
So do you have to have a filter or some sort of situation you change out regularly, like every 6 months or something, or is it just it operates straight through the
under the sink? You'll still
Yeah.
have your under the sink system in.
Sure.
You'll want to change those out once a year and a half, somewhere in that range, because that's a disposable, usable product. Because with the trapezoid that we have in there, the water licks it. That's where you get your pH.
Okay.
Okay. Other than that, this tank, you don't touch it. It cleans itself. It does everything itself. Okay. When we go to, if you have a well, we take uranium out of the water. Nobody does that. And we have the EPA test to show what we're doing is true. Okay. Uranium, any kind of, the farmers put down their pesticides, nitrites, we pull all those out of the water, iron, lead, everything we take out of the water with carbon. It's all natural. So now we have another product that's getting released next week. Molds just got built. We shot our first parts, and it's affordable. We have a filter that we just brought to the market, and this filter removes all parasites and all mold and fungus and all bacteria without using chlorine or ammonia. You can put, you can drink, this filter was designed and developed on the space station for the astronauts.
Oh, no kidding.
And the company in Finland that created the paper has allowed my company to manufacture it here in the United States. So I can drop this filter into any well in the world and drink the water, and the poisons will be taken out of it. So we have a portable system that we're releasing. It hooks up to your water hose. Horses love it. Campers, I mean, it hangs on the side of your camper. You plug your hoses in, you got filtered water on
wherever you are. Yeah.
wherever you are.
That's fantastic.
Then we have a prepper product.
Okay.
Prepper product, I can go out to any lake and drink the water using this system.
Excellent.
And not get a parasite.
I wonder how deep that was. Yeah. Yeah. Go drink from a puddle if you need to, huh?
I have a straw. Yeah,
Oh, you have a straw too? I was going to ask you that.
This one works. The military's actually start using it. You can actually put the straw in a mud puddle and drink the water out of it. We have water bottles we're coming out with. The Mormon community is very interested because they can give one of these bottles or two to their missionary kids in South Africa, and they can drink the water in South Africa.
That's fantastic. This is a great business model, and I love the You're obviously very passionate about it. You've been doing it for a long time. Are you the inventor?
So let me tell you why.
Okay.
There's a reason behind it.
Yeah, of course there is. There always is. Let's get it out.
There is. So 5-6 years ago, I'm a guy that doesn't do meds. I mean, I just don't. I'm too lazy. I'm not into vitamins. I'm not into anything. Okay. And 5 or 6 years ago, my PSA levels went from 1.6 to 4. Okay. October, he convinced me to go to get an ultrasound done, and I had a growth on my prostate, right? January, I finally get to a specialist by January. I don't like to rush these things, okay? Because they may just go away on their own. So we want to give it a chance, right?
Yep.
He looks at me and says, we have to remove it. I looked at my wife. I says, let's go home. Because when I asked them what happens when they remove it, it ain't good. You become a different person.
Yeah.
And we all have reasons why we live in this world. And
sure.
And that's one of mine.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
quality of life is extremely important, isn't
it? Yes, it is. So I just went home. I said, I take oxygen, CT resin, and I put it in like Sun Stadium, Coca-Cola Industries, Hershey's, Kraft Cheese, and I take their scale and their water pipes and I manage it. So the oxygen moves the scale. It doesn't stick and clog up the lines, right? So if I can get that into my body, I maybe kill this cancer. Because they told me oxygen and cancer can't live in the same place. You've heard that, right? I mean,
I have alkalinity and oxygen.
Right? I didn't know about the alkalinity. I didn't know what we were doing there. All I know is I had oxygen and I wanted that in my body, right? So I took it. That was in February. We bought a new home. I put the system in. I developed my first system. I put it in. May, I went back and had another blood test done. Went back to the doctor and he was like, what did you do?
Yeah.
I said, I remember I told you about that oxygen thing I was going to try. He goes, yeah. I go, I am now, I'm drinking the oxygen and that's what I've been doing. He goes, you're sitting at 1.7 and no growth. 2 months, 8 weeks, gone. Okay. Something happened that was very interesting. I was one of those guys that got up 5 times a night and went to the bathroom. Started drinking the water. I don't get up at all now. Haven't done it
That's
for years.
nice. Crazy. So you're retaining more of the water than
You're retaining and you're shrinking. The oxygen shrinking your prostate. Okay. That's all it is. So all that being said, so then we
Okay, you're making me thirsty, number one.
Well,
and number two,
the other problem with this water is once you start drinking it, you get addicted to it.
Number two, you're making me think, how much of this do I need to get in my house and when?
I will take care of you. Just give me, Neil.
I'm interested.
This is something that once you do it, you don't think about it again.
Well, I know the power of it. As we talked before, not everybody knows this, but with my children and when they were first born, when dealing with GERD and acid reflux as part of their autoimmune response, we eventually learned about the water and cleaning the water and filtration. We bought a very expensive Kangen water machine. Actually, the first one was given to us, and then we had another one, and that really changed when we realized the pH and alkalinity of the waters were impacting that GERD along with their food and eating and their bottles and formulas. As we started to clean that all out, one of the things when we moved out here to the country 12 years ago is we had the water well tested for none of the nonsense that was in the regular city water. As you and I discussed, there are levels deeper than that. We now filter and clean it in multiple ways, but I don't have that level of filtration in it. Even though we know the water is very, very clean, there are still other things in it that obviously come through. We want the good stuff and none of the bad stuff, right?
Well, Neil, what we would do is we would send you, our lab would send you a water bottle. You'd fill it up. They do it. We all look at the
like we do with our pools, basically.
What's that?
Like we do with pool testing to see what's in the...
But we go deeper. Our lab is an EPA certified lab, and they tear your water apart. Okay. I know exactly what's in your water. But then we build a system for your well. Okay.
Nice.
It's very important. And it took us years to figure all that out, but we are the foremost well filtration company in the world. We can fix wells. I can take uranium, and we're seeing uranium in a lot of wells across the country.
Uranium in the wells, that's insane.
And we pull it out. And we were told we couldn't get there. We got there.
Yeah. Well, we typically hear about things like lead or other heavy metals or stuff in the water. But uranium, that's kind of...
Where's it coming from?
I don't. And it might explain why when I turn the lights off in my house, I glow in the dark.
Well, now you know. You got a little water in you, okay? So we do that.
That explains a lot, actually.
We can help you in that well. But what we're doing is our water filtration is 21st century. It's all natural. It's all normal. It's all safe. Okay.
Fascinating.
It's not, oh, hey, let me tell you this. So my wife has a dog rescue.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she has 14 to 20 dogs.
I was going to say, you have a lot of dogs if you have a dog rescue.
Gosh. And and the worst of it is some dogs never leave.
Yeah. Of course they get to fall in love with the ones they prefer, right?
That, and then nobody wants the other dogs. Okay?
Well, that's the sad half of that.
So we have dogs, Neil, little ones, 21 years old.
Wow.
We have medium-sized dogs. I got one right now. Her time's coming. She's sitting there at 17 years old.
You have dogs that are 17 and 21 years old?
And they're medium-sized dogs.
Okay, so if anybody has animals who's listening to this, you definitely want to check this out if you want a longer animal life.
Better yet, guys.
Wow.
So
what are you, like 99 years old? Is that what you're telling me right now?
I'm only 20.
20. Well, yeah, I tell everybody now it's the 10th anniversary of my, or 20th anniversary of my 29th
20th,
birthday.
Right?
Yeah, I'm in anniversaries now. I switched over.
So, but what I'm telling you is though, the animals. Okay, so in Arizona, Phoenix, there's a steakhouse called Steak 44. They tell you don't come if you don't have $400 in your pocket.
Yeah.
And when you go there, my wife, we go once a year. She will cut her filet mignon in half, and the half goes to the dogs. So she'll put a bowl of this down, a bowl of water down. Dogs will walk up, smell the steak, and drink all the water, and then eat the steak. Every time they do this.
That's fascinating. Why? What's happening?
They can smell how clean the water is.
They can smell it. Yeah, they have a very sensitive smell.
Oh, it gets better yet. Okay, so we're with our horse product. We've been sponsoring jumpers, all the different performance horses out there, and the number one jumper in the country is a friend of ours. Sister owns a horse, so we meet him out at Westworld. 700 horses, and you ever hear the old saying, "You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink"? Yes, that there's a reason for that. Horses only drink out of buckets that they can smell themselves on. So she gets her water, puts it down. I get my water, same size bucket, put it down next to it. She laughed. She goes, that horse will never touch your water. It drank 2.5 gallons of it and wouldn't touch its own water. That's how much they smell.
Animals are powerful, have powerful smell.
Cattle, we're having a major problem in the United States and in the world with calves not wanting to wean.
Yeah.
Because of the poison in the water. They won't drink the poison. Our water, we can get 100% of them weaning.
All right. Well, look, you got me. I'm definitely interested. What was the name of your product again, and where can they go? Anybody listening to this can go grab theirs.
Sentry, Sentry, Sentry with an S, H2O.com. The store's there. When you go there, you will use Neil's code, NEIL, and you'll get a 10% discount.
Oh, that's cool. You put a code up for me. Fantastic.
Yes.
Go grab your 10% discount, folks. If your pets' heads are falling off, this is probably a good idea. If you're on medical stuff, if you got animals, if you care about your drinking water, you should go check this out.
Hey, you want something even funnier than that? We work with El Salvador. They got shrimps down there. We work with Paraguay. They have cattle. So my wife has a fish tank.
Okay.
I have Angel.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been doing this for about 10 years. And we buy them the size of a quarter because that's all I can afford. And then we put the water in that they recommended. I don't even remember what it is now. It's been a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
The angel fish grow to the size of a $50, and they last 2 years and they die.
Right.
So we decided to use our water because it was easy to put in. And you have to carry 30 gallons of it in. And we put the angel fish in. They grew to 2 inches in 2 weeks.
Wow.
Not joking.
That's huge.
We thought that was a fluke. And they last.
Well, I think your places like Pet Supply and others need to be listening to this. And they
don't want you because they can't sell fish.
Well, it's true. The fish would probably grow outside, but I noticed how many dead fish were in there the other day when we went and looked.
Well, I know this. The fish grow to 2 inches. They last for 4 to 5 years.
Wow. Better water.
And so I just thought it was a fluke. So we threw some more fish in there. Size of a quarter. 2 weeks. Boom. 2 inches. That's all it took. And I was like, this is amazing. Water matters. Minerals matter. And if you drink water from a stream and you can get the parasites and all the other garbage out, that is mineralized water. It's alkaline water. It has minerals in it. It's everything you need. Also, we just found this out. And I can't say 100% yet, Neil. You've heard of the new buzz, everybody, oxygen, hydrogenated water?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Our water's hydrogenated because we're using minerals to create pH. It comes from hydrogenated. It creates hydrogenated water. I don't know what level I'm at yet. The tests are being done now. When we get the tests back, if they're doing what we think they're doing, we have the best water in the world.
All right, guys. Well, you've heard it from Nelson. Go check it out. Subscribe, like, comment, push this message out to anybody, vets, family, friends who need to hear about water. Try it out yourself with the coupon code to get 10% off.
Yes.
It's a U.S.-based business, manufactured in the U.S., supplying jobs and economy. So support the U.S. Go America. A lot of good things happening in the coming weeks, and I hope the best for you and everything that you're doing. It'd be great, my bro.
Sounds like interesting times we're in.
Interesting times ahead, as always.
Oh, wait. Now I'm going to throw another little tidbit out there.
Okay.
I don't know. The first family, they drink our water.
No kidding.
Now that you want to be healthy, you got to put good stuff in your body.
That's a pretty good endorsement. You might have to hurry up and get that one on.
We can go down the line. I have many of his Kennedy. We're on his website. He knows about us. He likes what we're doing.
That is an amazing endorsement, folks. There you go, from the top down.
Guys, and if you don't like it, give me a call. I haven't had one person ever say no.
They didn't like water, you mean?
Or like our water.
Who doesn't like water? Come on now.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Good stuff, Nelson. Thank you so much for joining me and sharing some amazing information, brother.
Thanks, Neil. I appreciate the time. And give me a holler. We'll talk.
Done.